Hello everyone, my name is Ananya Rajput, a legal intern at Lexis & Company. So today I'm going to talk about Article 23 of Indian Constitution. Now, India being the biggest democracy in the world was also once a place of slavery and exploitation for children and adults. Before the enactment of Constitution of India, there were several cases of slavery, exploitation, widespread practice of forced labor in India. But with the passage of time and the adoption of the Constitution, these practices were reduced to zero. But even after these rules and regulations, there were many uncultural practices towards humanity, like in Rajasthan, northeastern states, some part of UP, Bihar, and various other areas where practices like untouchability, human trafficking, forced labors, etc. takes place, and society still remains shut watching all these. There are still many places where women are discriminated against because of their gender, and other problems, like in some place they are not allowed to enter a temple during their period weeks, but no established reason was given in this practice. Now, as per Article 23, traffic in individual and the hobo and the other comparable types of constrained work are denied, and any negation of this arrangement will be an offence culpable as per law. Nothing in this article will keep the state from forcing mandatory help for public purposes, and in overwhelming such assistance, the state will not make any separation on ground just for religion, race, rank, or class, or any of them. Features of Article 23 are it protects both citizen and non-citizen against state and private individual in terms of exploitation. Article 35 authorizes Parliament to make laws for punishing the acts which are prohibited under Article 23. It makes the state responsible for identifying and removing any such kind of bad practices. Now, practices prohibited by Article 23 are first, beggar. Now, the term beggar is of Indian origin. The beggar was a framework where the government and zamindars used to propel the people to convey their products when they move from one spot to another spot. It implies compulsory work without installment. Beggar establishes two components. It is to propel an individual to neutralize his will, and he isn't paid any compensation for that work. Then is traffic in human beings. Now, this term implies selling and buying of people from one person to another, sometimes from one country to other, as if they are their chattels. Although slavery is not expressly mentioned in the Article 23, but is included within the meaning of traffic in human beings. In pursuance of Article 23, Parliament has passed the Suppression of Immoral Traffic in Women and Girl Act 1956 for punishing human trafficking. Then is your bonded labor or forced labor. Here the labor does not work because of only physical and mental force, but also because of his economic condition, like to pay off his debts. In this way, he is forced to work, and if the time he is not able to pay off his debts, then the work sometimes gets doubled without any payment, or it passes to the next generation. So from here, the term bonded labor or forced labor came. Now, there are some case laws. First is your People's Union for Democratic Rights versus Union of India. Now, this case talked about forced labor. The law prohibits any kind of forced labor, whether it be due to mental, physical, or economic pressure. Also, no person shall be forced to work against his will under anyone, and doing this will bear severe punishments. Then there was a very famous case of Sanjeev Roy versus State of Rajasthan. Now, in this, state utilized individual for certain works under the Famine Relief Act. Individuals were gravely hit by starvation. Along these lines, the state utilized them. In any case, these individuals were paid even beneath the base wages on the ground that the cash is given to help them in gathering the starvation circumstances. No work is insignificant. All labor that uplifts humanity has its dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. Now, in the current scenario, we all can see a huge involvement of Article 23. On 24 March 2020, the Government of India ordered a nationwide lockdown in India starting at midnight to stop the coronavirus from spreading in the country. Lockdown in India has affected a huge number of transit specialists. The absence of food and fundamental convenience, loss of business, dread of obscure, and absence of social help was significant explanations behind battle in this enormous piece of populace. Because of this lockdown, more than 300 passing were accounted for, with reasons going from starvation, suicide, fatigue, street and rail mishap, police mercilessness, and refusal of opportune clinic consideration. 80 migrant workers died while going back home from Shramik special train. Several incidents, viral videos of police misbehavior, brutality on migrant workers have been reported across the country. Now, so here we come to know that the poor and vulnerable section in our society keeps on suffering despite having several laws, rules, and regulations related to it. To stop all such activities as forced labor and human trafficking, a technological based mechanism should be adopted where every labor residing on any part of the country will have to register themselves there with their full details of themselves about his company in which he is working, the salary amount which he is getting, and well organized checks should be maintained over these activities for registration and further works. Thank you.